morning, and welcome to the We Don't Know Jack show, featuring Nico as the Joker and Kevin as the Ace, going all in on all topics. And remember, we don't know Jack.
We don't know Jack. Hey, this is your Joker. That's your Ace.
Good morning. Happy Friday, everybody, man. I'm so excited. We got a good guest here today. I'm going to let Nico bring him in, but I knew he was coming in, so I wrote down a 90-day challenge about 3 or 4 days ago, and I'm hoping he's going to help me stay accountable to this and put me on a workout program. Good morning, Nico. Good morning.
Man, good morning. Yeah, we got special guest in the house, Mr. Mike Torres, CEO of Hero Performance. Mike, thank you for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Welcome, Mike.
People won't know this because they haven't seen Mikey on the show for a really long time. But Mikey is the third part of our show, and he helped introduce us to Mike, and so we're glad to have you here. And man, just real quick, I know we're talking about icebreakers. I was fascinated by this white nose hair that was in my nostril this morning. I really went in there and just yanked that sucker out. I was looking at it for a really long time. I was like, man, I got white nose hair, just. I'm getting old.
So I got
it's on your nose now.
I get that nose hair too, and like it comes out of nowhere. It's like it must have a fast growth rate. I don't know. They just pop out. You never see them like medium.
It's like every 2 days it just comes back out.
Yeah.
My dad's got one on his nose that pops out of nowhere. Pluck it from.
I had my son the other day go, "Daddy, why do you have hair on your ears?" I was like, "Ah, man!" I was
You're
like,
not there yet, son.
I was like, I didn't used to.
I'm totally convinced that I haven't lost any hair, and I'm gonna take off my hat. My hair is just gravitating down.
There you go.
So I'm thinking about sleeping like a vampire. See if I can reverse gravity and get it to back
It
up.
may work on.
I don't know if it's gonna work, but we'll see.
Mike, you seem like you're in pretty good shape, and you look young. Are you young? How old are you?
I'm 35.
35.
All right. Yeah. So that's about 10 years my junior right there.
Yeah.
I don't wish that on you though. I hope you don't get ear hair and nose hairs that are
Bro,
white.
it's already coming out, bro. It's already coming out. I just hide it well.
Freaking stinks, man. Well, dude, tell us about Hero Performance, man. We want to let you come on and promote the company, but you had just mentioned something before we got on the air about being on another podcast and kind of giving an explanation of how this all came to be, how it came to pass. Were you always into like health and fitness and muscle fitness?
Oh, not really, man. That's why I was about, I don't know, maybe 19 or so years old. Just started lifting weights, kind of following the footsteps of like my brother. He was always in really good shape. But it didn't really become a business until about 13 or so years ago. I just started training people on the side for some side money.
Okay.
And then
What were you doing at the time for
I was
actual
selling
work?
wine. Yeah, I sold wine for a
Really?
long time. Yeah, I sold
Okay.
wine for roughly about 8 to 10 years. That's what I did before. Yeah, I sold wine and liquor to like HEBs. Started off merchandising, making like $12 an hour, and then grew my way up to like a sales rep position, but doing convenience stores, and that's a hustle right there, bro.
I bet. Yeah.
You're selling MD 2020. You're selling
Mad Dog.
Yeah. And so like that's how I started off, and I started growing these routes little by little.
Yeah.
And then got into like the grocery store world. But at the same time, man, I just wanted more, dude. And I started developing more of a passion for fitness, understanding like how it helped my mindset, my body. I wanted to do more with it, man. So it just grew into a business from there.
Yeah, so I was reading, doing some research on you, man. It sounds like you got a fascinating story as far as how you grew that gym, and it started like it sounded like kind of grassroots, and then grew from there, and now it's a huge business. I mean, you got what, 10,000 square feet, I think?
Yeah, it's 10,000 square feet. We have a total of 16 U.S. employees, a couple of overseas employees as well.
Oh wow.
Okay.
What are your overseas employees doing?
They're virtual assistants.
Okay.
So they're basically managing some social media stuff, reaching out, doing cold reach outs. And it's crazy what you can get for like $4 an hour.
Yeah, yeah, that's cheap work over there for sure.
Man, that was actually one of my questions I was going to ask you about, because I was curious since I was looking at your Instagram page, and I was like, man, you got some really neat posts and everything, and I was thinking to myself, like, as a business owner, do you do that yourself, or do you have to monitor it? Because in this day and age, like, you got to worry about cancel culture, if something gets said wrong, like.
No, for sure, man. Starting off, I always did it myself. Always. It was just something like cool. I didn't want to pay somebody. I wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
And then it got to a certain level. It's like, well, I'm not even consistent with it. I think somebody can do a better job with it.
Yeah.
That's when I outsourced it.
The good thing about that too is that with my company, I started off doing all the marketing as well. And when you do that as a business owner, it's best to know all aspects of the job. You know, then you can hold the people accountable to what they're supposed to be doing, and even offer suggestions. You know, so I think that's great that you started out doing it on your own. And tell us about where it started.
The gym in general,
just the whole story.
I mean, it goes back deep, bro. It depends on how deep you want to go, man. But just like starting off, I guess, with the gym, transitioning from Republic National, which was I was selling wine and just alcohol in general. It just came to a day, bro. I'll never forget this day. I was like, it was like Christmas Eve. I'm like going through HEB, which was is the biggest retailer for wine. And I'm like servicing these HEBs, making great money, roughly about $98,000 per year. And I was pushing this cart of wine Christmas Eve, and I'm like, this is cool, right? I'm making a good amount of money. I'm not hurting for money. But I wanted to do more, man. I knew there was more for this fitness thing that I wanted to do. So I had a friend that I met through Advocare. I'm not sure if you guys ever heard of Advocare.
Yeah.
So we're selling Advocare together. We're doing these mixers, helping people with
Supplements,
helping people with fitness at the same time. And he calls me. He's like, hey, man, I got this opportunity. I'm like, what's up? He goes, my friend owns a Pilates studio. She has a space next to her. She wants us to check it out. You know, if you're interested, I'm going to open this gym, and I want to know if you want to go in with me. I'm like, yeah, cool. Like, what's this about? So I go and meet with them. We start coming up with like a business plan, talking. He was already in fitness for like the last 16 years prior to us hooking up. And we came up with this business plan, man, and she rented us the space for, I think, like a couple $1,000s a month, but she gave us 3 months free.
Okay.
At the same time, I was still at Republic, not realizing really what it's going to take to own a business or even run a business. Like, it just sounded good. The idea, it sounded like, yeah, man, hell yeah.
So I always joke about that. It's everyone wants to own their own business till they own their own business, because it's not like a job. You know, it's 24/7. You know, you don't clock out. It's on your mind. You're dreaming about it. So yeah, owning a business and starting it from scratch, man, that's a lot of learning curve.
Heck yeah, man. So it came to that point, came up with the plan. We're like, yes. At the same time, we started dedicating quite a bit of time to this business, reaching out to people. This is before like any marketing skills, anything. And so we're just doing what we know, messaging people via Instagram, Messenger on Facebook, calling old leads, calling a friend, warm list. And it started taking so much time and consuming so much of my life, man. I started taking time away from Republic, so much to the point to where I started decreasing in sales.
Yeah.
And they noticed it. Because I was running almost $500,000 in wine sales per month to HEBs, and they're like, your numbers are dropping. So little by little, time went on, continued. They decreased me to a Walmart route, which is literally about half the pay of what I was making. At that point, I was just pissed. But I understood at the same time. I was
Walmart,
like, dude.
half the pay of HEB.
Yeah, man. Because, you go from selling like Sutter Home and Walmart, which is a table wine, compared to HEB, you're selling, anywhere from, on an average, probably about a $20 wine up into a couple $100 wine. So the commissions are totally different because you're selling a lot more, not necessarily a lot more wine, but a lot more value wine. So the dollars go up and the commission goes up.
Yeah, I've bought wine a lot, and I've never bought wine at Walmart. I don't think. Maybe Franzia, back in the day, some box wine.
It's the number one selling wine in the nation, though. It's Franzia. So it used to be at least a couple of years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know
so
that.
you pay like $13 for like a whole box.
Yeah.
It's like, shit, everybody's getting messed up on this.
We used to buy them and take them out of the box and float down the river with them.
Yeah, there you go, man.
The plastic bag.
Yeah, just the bag.
Man. I don't know, man. My wife must have been keeping HEB in business, man. She buys like 6 bottles of wine.
But you get a discount, bro. You buy 6 bottles, 10%
That's what she tells me. She's like, but there's a discount to buy 6, and I'm like, yeah, there's a deeper discount to buy none.
There you go. So do you want to save the 10% or do you want to spend the 90?
Yeah,
which one is
exactly.
That's good.
Oh man. So I put on there on our page your company so that people could go to it, check it out. I put your website and I put the Instagram. But man, it looks like you do a lot. Not just the gym.
Yeah.
Not just personal training, but there's like I saw food, I saw supplements. Like, what all are y'all into?
At the gym, we do, of course, like personal training, group training, open gym. But with a side business from that would be our supplement company, which is Hero Labs. So we do supplements, and we're releasing we have 5 supplements out right now. The next 3 should come within the next 3 or so months, about 1 per month. We did have a food prep business of our own called Hero Fit Meals. Wasn't profitable, so I did decide to go ahead and cut the ties with that. And now I use a vendor and just make a percentage on the back end, which makes better sense for me. Along with that, we have an online business, which is a all women's business called Fit and Fine Online. And that's super empowering for just women in general, but that's been really profitable for us and helped a lot of people across the nation. That's more nationwide rather than just.
I'm curious, what does that consist of?
So it's online training. So we have like a fitness app, and then it's online coaching, to where you have a coach every day of the week instead of 3 days a week, like a personal trainer. So if you have somebody staying on you, you're more likely to reach your goals.
Is that the mind body fitness?
No, Mind Body is like one of the apps that we use to book all your training sessions and your group sessions.
Okay.
Fit and Fine is something totally different from Hero.
Okay.
Yeah, it's separated. We're in the same building, kind of similar to where we're at now, but it's all separated.
Yeah. Do you have other ventures that you're thinking of?
Yeah, so right now this morning I signed on my first sale of a house. So I had a real estate investment deal that I signed this morning at 8 a.m. Biggest check I've gotten so far.
Nice.
So I got that. Then I'm looking into doing some AirBNB arbitrage. I just bought a course on that. And that's something I'm really looking into heavily. Just after the business grew to a certain point, I'm like, cool, the business is stable. What else can I do now? Yeah. So we passed the 7-figure mark. I'm like, cool, I feel stable now. Now I want to venture out and see what else is out there.
I thought this was interesting because, like before Mike came on, he and I rapped over the phone a little bit, and he was telling me, he was like, I got to this certain point where things were established, and now I want to learn a different skill set. I don't know if you do that every month or if you just do it like skill set until you think you've mastered it. But I was fascinated by that because, that's a true entrepreneurial spirit right there.
Yeah, I'm real curious about that too, because I'm all about self-improvement. I listen to what's called Blinklist, and I try to hit one every morning. It's like Cliff Notes on audio. Okay. So obviously you're motivated physically, you're working out. What are you doing to prep your mind?
Every morning I listen to audibles. Okay. And so it just depends on the subject that I'm focused on learning at that point. Whether it's maybe I'm not motivated this week, I'm learning some motivational. Maybe I want to learn more about a certain skill. Maybe I want to learn more about sales skills and sharpen my sales skills for the week. Yeah. I listen to a book every morning, at least 6 days a week.
So how does that correlate with your employees? Because obviously to run a company at your size with all the trainers, are you teaching these guys on a daily basis on these motivation techniques? And what all are you doing to keep that atmosphere live and going in the gym?
Yeah. So we have a book, I would say every quarter. So we read one chapter per week. That's what I require from the trainers. Okay. And then I host a meeting every Monday to recap the book, what they learned from it, what they got from it. Right now we're focusing on one of Grant Cardone's book, a selling book, but it's like the top closes, most obstacle rebuttals that you get and how to overcome them to really help the individual. And so now we're going into the actual closes, and I'm going to actually quiz each trainer every week on the individual close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that something that happens at most gyms?
Hell no.
No? I was curious.
So I have a little experience, and I was talking to Mike about it before, but a while back when I was in shape and working out, I worked for a fitness company too, and sales is a big portion of it. And you have a lot of trainers that are really good at training, but they also need to be taught how to do sales, which is a challenge because getting people to take that first step to get to the gym is one thing, getting them to stay is another, and also having people be there consistently. It looks like you have a pretty big membership right now.
Yeah, we do, man. We have roughly around 400 or so members. 300 is like on reoccurring. The other 100 is what we call PIFs. They're just paid in fulls. They pay for the year, pay for the program. But sales is it, man. Without sales, you can be the best personal trainer and not have a client. But you got to sell something. I think a lot of people are scared of sales, and that's what really the industry itself. It scares people away because it's all sales. So you'll hear people, I do personal training. Well, how many clients do you have? 3, 4, 5. You're not going to make a living off of that.
So when I was doing it, I would be like, I don't want you to sell. I just want you to go out there and talk to that client and tell them everything you know about personal training. Yeah. And then in the end, just ask them if they're interested. Yeah. And that's it. That's sales.
Yeah. And so us that we have a little bit of different scenario. We invite people in to do one of our programs or listen to more. But I strongly believe in my heart when you're confident and you feel so passionate about what you believe in, there's no reason you shouldn't push hard for the sale, because I know this will change your life forever. So you'll hear me every single day. I won't let you walk out my office until you buy something because it's going to benefit you.
Yeah.
If you don't spend this money with me, you're going to spend it elsewhere on something that doesn't.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
So do you show them like different factors on how they can save money and like, because I know a lot of people, one thing that we would say is like, oh, well, they couldn't justify the personal training commitment, but if you start taking all these things out of your diet and all these bad habits that you're doing, that can justify the cost for the personal training. Is that something that you guys do to explain that to your customer?
Yes and no. We do talk about that. I never use it as a resource to close any type of stuff. Because truth be told, if you're doing Uber Eats 3 times a day, do you really want to change that? Probably not. You're so used to doing it, bro. Like, you're not going to change that. That's not where the money comes from. The money's going to come from the passion of you understanding that this is doable for you and having some belief in yourself that you can actually do this. And it's my job to persuade you as a fitness professional that you can do this and it is possible. But most people, what I find past the age of 26, have had trial and error, tried one thing or another, and they have no belief in themselves. They feel that if they spend X amount of dollars, they're not going to accomplish anything. So they're scared to even try anymore.
So that's something that's just beyond fitness, I believe. And it sounds like you're taking that mentality into the other endeavors that you're pursuing, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
He's got I don't know if this is going to be, I mean, we only got a couple weeks left in January, but I saw that you have like a free 21-day challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Did I read that right?
It's a 6-week, 42 day.
Okay.
Yeah.
42 day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 42-day challenge.
Even better. I mean, so like legitimately they just walk in, they're free.
There's always something, right?
Okay.
Always something.
There's always something,
Yeah.
but they do get 42 days free if they complete the challenge successfully.
Oh, okay.
They have to lose 6% body fat or 25 pounds.
Wow.
Depending on the person, right? I'll pick their goals, whatever's the easiest goal for them.
But that really gives them motivation, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to save this 40
So like
days
for
worth
you,
of
yeah,
you know?
25 pounds, but for you to be the 6% body fat.
Yeah.
So depending on the frame.
So Nico, you work out a lot. What is it? You're working out every day now?
I
consistently?
try to get in 3 to 5 days.
3 to 5 days a week.
Uh,
So I know you got a lot of questions from Mike about fitness. Do you have any questions about workout or training in general?
Well, I mean, most of my questions aren't really questions. They're you know, like affirmations, right? Like, I know I need to do cardiovascular.
So do you want to tell him how to do his job? Is that
No,
what you're
not at all, man. I mean, you know, like, it would be great to have somebody to force me to do the cardio. Like,
Yeah.
for instance, I just got my blood work done the other day, and a year ago, my A1C hemoglobin level was 50 or 0.5, and this year it was 0.54, and so 0.57 is pre-diabetes, and I knew, like, yeah. I try to do things like monitor what I'm eating. I don't like to eat processed foods at all. I do eat some sugars because I do movie night with the kids and we like to get ice cream and stuff like that. But the biggest thing was that, man, I had this last year cut out all the cardiovascular and I was only doing weightlifting. And I knew, like, you know, why can't I lose this belly fat around my tummy? You know, like, and it's because I wasn't doing any cardiovascular health. So actually, this last 2 weeks, I started doing these videos with my daughter, where we do these like HIIT videos, you know, the high intensity.
That's cool, man.
I don't even know what the other I stands for.
Yeah, high intensity interval training.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's good though, doing it with your daughter, because that'll keep you motivated.
Yeah.
It's something to do together. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's what I was asking too about you doing all your self-motivation and you know, getting on your books, everything. Is that I'm a firm believer that if you can't teach something unless you know it. So part of the act of teaching is learning yourself, you know, because you can't really explain something and teach another man unless you really have a full understanding. And that's why I think it's so impressive that you're working on yourself every day, man. That's great. And I know it's got to benefit your business.
No, for sure, man. I'm daily affirmations every morning, right? I have a set of affirmations I read to myself. I also made some affirmations for my kids that I make them read in the mornings.
Nice.
Just to get them started. Remind them every morning, read your affirmations, because it's a big part, like mindset, right? We have to want it, but that mindset to get started, you have to believe in yourself, and that's where the belief really comes from, dude. Just telling yourself nice things.
Yeah.
You're awesome. I love myself. I'm a badass. Like, whatever it is, you know what I mean? And that goes so far for these kids, man, growing up.
What's funny is I grew up, you know, obviously I went to Klein Forest and then Klein High School, but while I was at Klein High School, I lived in these apartments. One of the guys there who will get on the show at one point, his name was Lee Brownlow, and he went out to play football. And he used to tell me that the coach was constantly, when they were in the one of the weight training programs that they had, the coaches would be on them about like get in the mirror and like flex your muscles and say, man, I'm growing, I'm getting bigger, you know?
That's awesome, man.
And it was like this, you know, like I'm a badass, I'm get the mentality thing going, you know, and it like started, it worked, right? Like it built the confidence up, and for some reason they like seemed like they were actually growing their muscles, you know? So that's crazy, man. Mike, man, I saw like a very powerful interview on your Instagram thing, your Instagram page. It was a gentleman, I don't remember his name, but he said he had a doctorate of music. He was a musician, but he said he was bipolar. I thought of you, Kevin, and he said for his mental health, getting into the hero performance programs really benefited him. And so I don't know how many people you see like that. If this is something that you know, like, have you do you talk to people about this mental health aspect?
I mean, honestly, dude, when you come into the gym, right, you come in there for a physical transformation. That's what everybody comes in for. But I tell every individual that walks in the door, if you do this program right, you complete it, you'll never be the same person. It'll change you mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. Believe it or not, you actually save money. So we do see it all the time. Not a lot of people talk about it, to be honest with you. He was one of the few that really stood out, went, you know, above and beyond to say, hey man, I want to do something because this really changed my life forever. He wanted to be on camera. He was that like passionate. He felt that good about it. But most people that walk through the gym doors, man, they're so beat up on themselves. They, just like I talked about earlier, no belief in themselves. They don't really feel that they can do it. And it's almost impossible sometimes to push them over the edge. But we just have to be persuasive enough to make them understand, you're gonna have to borrow my belief right now to get what you want out of life.
Borrow my belief. Yeah,
I like that. I like that. Yeah, so I'm not ashamed of it. I was diagnosed with bipolar at a very young age, and we were talking about me getting back in shape, and I know 100% that helps. You know, having a strong body and being physical and having those endorphins, they definitely change your mental aspect. And that guy going on and telling his story, that's awesome. You know, you couldn't have a better testimonial, because everything in your physical translates into your mental, into pretty much emotionally, everything in your life, really.
Man, I had a gentleman last night that I talked to last night. Deep story, man, deep story. He was a pilot in the Navy 6 years back or so. 2 years into it, he got addicted to heroin. So he lost everything. He's been clean for, I think he told me, about a year's time now. And he came in, he's like, man, I just need this in my life, but I'm scared to even start. And when I hit him with the price point, he almost shit his pants. He was just like, dude.
It's like me.
Yeah, he was like, dude, I can't do it. And I was like, dude, yes, you can, bro. Eating Uber Eats 2 to 3 times a day. We figured out he's spending roughly $2,500 a month. But I told him it's not even about that. I don't want to make it about that. I want to make it about you. It's about you changing your life forever. Yes, it is an investment, but what is this going to do for you long term? So if you spend this amount of money to change your life forever, was it worth it? To get you out of depression, to make you feel good about yourself, to boost your confidence, to walk around with your head high, your shoulders back. What does that do for you?
Yeah.
Changes your life, man.
Man, I hope it does for him, for sure.
I got an obvious question too about you know, going into that mental health aspect, and we don't like to talk about it too much, but how did COVID affect your gym industry? Did you see a big increase of people coming in? I know that I went out and started riding bikes, and I was trying to get active again, and I ended up having a bike accident. And but I know a lot of people did really well, and a lot of people didn't. So did that work for you in the gym industry? Did you see memberships fall off, or do you see people coming in there with high goals during that time?
Most gyms that I know either closed down in COVID or probably drained their bank account trying to make it through COVID.
Yeah.
We did close down for about 8 weeks. But that's when the Fit and Fine online was created. So we pivoted to online training.
Nice.
So instead of, you know, letting it hinder us, we just pivoted, opened up a new business, and that's where the online business started and really took off.
So you took and found a solution.
Yeah.
How many people at one time are doing one, like, online, like, is it live where they're watching somebody live and there's like multiple people all at once?
No, so it's more like the coaching. So I'll sign you up and I'll coach you daily. I'll create all your programming. I'll create all your nutritional planning, and you have access to me 24/7.
Okay.
So like, hey Mike, I'm going out tonight. I'm gonna eat out at a restaurant. What's a good meal that I can incorporate to where I don't overindulge?
Wow.
XYZ.
So this is accessible to you or the trainers at any time.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's almost like a sponsor for.
That's
hey,
not.
that's
I mean,
cool.
that's not just even meal prep. That's like like guidance.
Yeah.
Like that's super cool to have that. Like it's something. Man, like I'll talk to my daughter. Like some people legitimately have never been taught. Like how much importance there is for fiber. How many protein grams you need per day. Just things like that. They have no idea when you sit down at a meal, whether it's fast food or restaurant or even one you've made at your home, how to prepare that, to have the proper dietary balance, caloric intake.
Well, why do you think that is?
Man, I gotta imagine it's the government pushing that.
Honestly, it goes back to like childhood though, dude. How were you brought up, right? Were you raised that way? Was it learned? Was it taught, right? And it's like we have to like eventually break cycles at some point to get people healthy, man.
Yeah.
I got a question. So on the 24/7 app, do you ever have people hit you up late at night? Because I text Nico something at like 12:50. I was doing some research on your business, and he's like, "Go to sleep." Like, are you nicer than Nico?
You might text me at 1 in the morning.
I'm just like, go to sleep. You need sleep. Go to sleep.
Yeah. I would tell you the same thing. Like, hey, can I do this? No, what you need to do is go to sleep right now. I'll see you tomorrow.
Do you have any funny stories?
We really don't. Honestly, between like, I would say the latest text we'll get is around 10.
Yeah.
Earliest is around 5, which I'm up at 5 anyways.
So I would be up there like texting you at like 1 in the morning. Like I'm right in front of the fridge, Mike. What do I do?
I need some accountability right now.
Mike, in your history, like how many years has this been?
Owning the gym?
Just fitness in general.
I mean, since I was about 18 years old, so
almost 17 years, right? Where does proper sleep, fall into what somebody needs as far as like body transformation?
So let's say somebody's not losing weight. I always ask them 3 things. How much water are you drinking? How much sleep are you getting? And are you getting your greens in? Those are 3 things that people mostly do not look at. They'll skip all of them.
I failed everything you just said.
It's like those top 3 things, man, they'll make a huge difference in your weight loss.
Can you quickly just kind of give us a reason for each one of those, why they're important?
Well, hydration. So if you're not drinking enough water, what do? You typically retain it.
Yeah, not a lot of people understand that.
Yeah, and then same thing with like greens. It's good for probiotic gut health, right? Your gut is connected to your brain. So without good gut health, your body doesn't function properly. And sleep, when we recover, that's our sleep time. So you can kick your ass in the gym, tear down your muscle tissue and everything else, but if you're not sleeping properly, your body doesn't have time to rebuild it. So that's why sleep is so important to the body. So that's when the science happens.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate that.
Science.
I have one.
Science is for pussies.
So
it's really not. I just say that a lot.
We did one show, man, where we said, I forget why that came up, but we said science is for pussies. We had somebody from Chicago who messaged us saying, y'all should get T-shirts that say science is for
that would be some good shit.
Man, I had one question for Mike that is specifically for my daughter. If you'll allow me to ask that.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Because, I mentioned to him, like, I'm trying to show her some things, proper form technique, working on our core, getting in the gym a little bit. She's been coming with me. And I sit there and I'll be like, are you breathing? Because it looks like she's not breathing. She tells me she's breathing through her nose. I'm like, I don't really think you're breathing.
Yeah.
Do you train people on like how to breathe? Is there a proper breathing technique? Does breathing really not matter? Like when you're lifting weights, where's breathing at?
It's important, man, unless you want like a hernia or something like that. But honestly, proper breathing techniques is huge. So when you're like, I guess, pushing out the weight, you would breathe out. When you're going down, you breathe in. And that's the way to properly breathe when you're lifting weights, period.
Does it matter if it's all through the nose? And
I think as long as you're breathing, that's the biggest thing. You don't want to be holding your breath there, turning all red to the face, and that'll mess you up.
Okay, so proper breathing is exhale on the out,
push,
on the push, and inhale on the okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So we had our friend Matt that you met earlier, and he came on the podcast and had an amazing story about an AVM aneurysm that started in the gym. And he was like, I don't know if I was clenching my breath or what happened. It was a blessing that it did happen because they ended up finding something else that they had to take out. So the aneurysm popping in the gym was actually a blessing in disguise. It could have killed him later on in his life. But he always asked me if he was breathing wrong. He's like, I wonder if that was what it was, you know.
That I don't know. That's
Yeah.
beyond my scope,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. But I do know that, breathing's
Very important.
Yeah, for sure.
Need oxygen to the muscles.
Exactly.
And your brain.
And your brain.
Man, I felt like if we had enough time, I was going to get you to kind of give us a rundown of the trainers you got, because when I went to each one of them, and it seems like everybody's got their own expertise.
Yeah.
So, man, do you mind kind of giving us the rundown of who's who, how they came to be there, and what they do?
Yeah, I mean, everybody has their pluses and their negatives. When I get clients to sign up, it sounds weird, but I believe in all my trainers' ability, whether it's weight loss, weight gain, muscle gain, whatever it is. I base people off of personalities, which is something different. I know not a lot of gyms do that, but the reason being is that you're going to train with this person, bro, 3 times a week. You're going to talk to them on a regular. You have to be able to vibe with that individual to the point to where you like each other. And it's just not a training session. Develop a better relationship with that person so that they respect you. But really, all my trainers across the board help you lose weight, help you gain muscle. I do have certain ones that I believe a little bit more in. Like if I have a weight gain guy, I'll give him to one individual. If I have a weight loss person, like their vibe is real, like cool. I know who to give. I'll give him to like the yoga girl, like also personal trains and does kickboxing. You know, I just really go off of vibes and personalities, to be honest with you, man.
I got a question. So, do you guys do boxing at your gym too? I thought I saw a boxing.
I saw some of the trainers had that in there.
Yeah. So, what is a training like that? I used to do some training with jiu-jitsu, and I love to box. And so, what does that consist of? Is that part of the program that y'all do?
Yeah. So, all of our programs include 3 different things. One is fitness. Second is nutrition. Third is accountability.
Yeah.
For the boxing program, you would learn. It depends on where your skill level is at, but you may start from ground level. And just learn the proper technique, and then maybe throw you in the ring and maybe spar a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just kind of depends on where you're at. And then the nutrition is going to be built off of whether you're trying to gain weight or lose weight. And then accountability, just to make sure you're doing it consistently. So you have to send like pictures of your meal preps, pictures of your grocery list, check-ins if you're working out from home.
Oh, man.
And that's about the accountability.
That's accountability.
Yeah, so it makes you actually do it. And then the cool thing is we put a guarantee on all of our programs. So I'm going to assign your goals. Let's say you want to lose 50 pounds. I'm going to say it's going to take 24 weeks. But the guarantee is you're going to pay me X amount of dollars. If you don't get there within 24 weeks, I refund every penny.
Yeah.
That's the guarantee.
But but they have to send you like, hey, this is what I
stipulations are you got to respond within 24 hours to me if I reach out to you or a coach reaches out to you. You got to show up a minimum of 3 times a week. And if you don't, if you're going to work out from home, it's fine. You got to send me a sweaty selfie. And you have to take the supplements I say you take. Maybe
sweaty selfie.
Sweaty selfie. That's a new term, man.
I like that.
Selfie.
I like that. That's pretty cool. So, man, that accountability, that's intense. But it's so we were talking earlier too, is that to be successful in the gym and as trainers, you have to have results. So I believe that that's probably the best thing you can do, because it's nothing worse than starting someone that's training, put their name, they're posting stuff about hero performance, and then fall off, you know, and then it doesn't make your guys look good. So I think that accountability is something that's awesome. I've never even heard of that intense, so that's good.
Yeah, it's on a different level.
Yeah.
Are you local, native to Houston? Or
Yeah,
okay.
I grew up literally maybe 3 minutes away from the gym where I'm at.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, Cavalcade and Irvington. Went to Jeff Davis and Marshall Middle School.
Yeah.
In the hood.
Yeah.
So that's why I felt really comfortable when I opened the first gym or the second gym. It was like 2 exits away from the current gym. It was like 1,000 square foot building. Went in there and started training out of there, and then we grew to a certain point to where we need a bigger space, bro.
Yeah.
So we found this one. It used to be, I don't know if you're from the area, huh?
Yeah.
So you remember when it used to be a furniture store?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I said, man, what happened to that building? Let me pass by there. I rode by there, looked in the window, like a soccer arena in there.
Oh,
I was
really?
like, man, who owns this? Apparently they're doing something with it. Kept coming back, so finally I talked to somebody. Talked to this dude, he's like, well, I'll rent you this little piece of space right here, about 2,000 square feet. I'm like, yeah, that works. That's more than we have now, and it's about the same price in rent. We did that for a while, bro, but we could not coexist.
With the guy?
With the guy. And well, I thought he was the owner at this point, but we could not coexist. His soccer people was, primarily Hispanic people, Spanish speakers. The music wasn't vibing. It was just one of those things, like nothing worked.
Yeah.
And his mom was supposed to run the soccer arena. And I have nothing but nice words to say about her, right? But it just didn't work, right? So it came to a point, man. So one day this older white man walked in the building, and he's like, I'm like, can I help you? He's like, yeah, this is my building. I own this. Huh? Yeah, I own this building. like, no, I rented from a guy next door, Hispanic dude's like, no, I own this. Come to find out, he was more of like a property manager for the building, and he had plans to own or finance the building, but he wasn't paying his rent. That's when the real owner came about. It's like, you know, what's going on in here? He didn't know the gym equipment was there. He didn't know anything.
Wow.
So he was subleasing it to you and not even paying the rent?
Yeah, he was subleasing it to me without approval from the real owner.
And not paying his rent.
And not paying the rent.
Yeah.
That's baller.
Yeah, so I was like, shit, well, I got my check stubs. I've been paying this guy X amount for X amount of months.
Man.
At the end of the day, the owner finally ended up like telling him, hey, dude, you got to go.
Yeah.
And it was a big old legal dispute, but we ended up tearing out the whole soccer field and making the whole 10,000 square feet ours.
So I have a question, Fro. You went from 1,000 to 2,000 square feet and then to 10. What was it like signing that lease? I mean, at this point, you are all in.
I mean, honestly, I've been all in, dude.
Yeah.
Since
day one.
Since day one, and I'll tell you why. So, like, kind of backtracking to what we talked about earlier, I went to that Walmart route, making like 45K a year, right? So I couldn't even pay my bills with that, dude.
Yeah.
I was living so far beyond my means because I was from the HEB route. So it came to a point where they fired me from the Walmart route because I was dedicating too much time to the gym, stealing time, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And after that, I was like, well, shit, now I am all in. So I took out my 401k. A few $1,000s wasn't much. You know, most people's 401k is a lot more than what mine was. It was like 5K in there. Took that out, bought a whole bunch of the knick-knack equipment that I found on Craigslist, Facebook, and that's when we opened up the 1,000 square foot gym. So to be honest with you, I've been all in.
Awesome.
And I'm constantly signing, taking risks. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
When I bought my first investment property a while back, I was like, well, I'm going to drain my bank account, but I'm going to do it anyways because I'm all about taking risks, and I think it's a calculated risk, so I'm just going to try it out.
I think that's a really like paramount thing with an entrepreneur is that you're not always going to make the right or wrong decision, but you got to make that decision right towards the end, you know, and that hustle mentality is, and once I think it's crazy that you have it to a point where you're running and you've scaled it so you can take on other projects. Like that's really hard to do. A lot of entrepreneurs end up running the whole business and they don't teach or tell people enough about what's going on that they have to be there. Yeah. So it looks like you've trained your guys that you're able to step out and start these new ventures, which is a really talented entrepreneur. Not a lot of people can accomplish that.
Yeah. I mean, we all need work, right? The business is not perfect. No business model is perfect. The gauge is like to really scale people to care about the business. And if they care about the business, they'll at least do 70% of what you can do. And with that, the business can sustain. And that's how I look at it now. So all my employees, like I literally make them care about the business or they can't work for me.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is by caring about the business is bringing referrals in, talking to clients about supplements, talking to clients about different things we offer to continue to help the business grow. Otherwise, you won't have a job. But I pay them well on everything they do, and I honor that for them.
That doesn't seem like it should be hard for them, though, because if you're a true personal trainer and want to change people's lives, I mean, that's just part of the gig. You'll be doing that off the clock, too, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's more of a belief
Did they
system.
come to you from personal training backgrounds, or were they doing something totally different themselves?
I think most come from personal training background, either trying to do it on their own and realizing, well, this shit's harder than I thought, right?
Okay.
And then some are just like, I hired a girl recently, she was a yoga instructor. But I love her vibe, man. I love her personality. She has some kickboxing experience too. And I was like, that's the type of person I want on my team.
Okay.
She was all in. She's like, she moved from Louisiana to come work for me.
Nice.
And I was like, cool. I know she's going to work out. She took a move, took a chance. I'm like, cool, I'm going to give you my all. You give me your all. You're going to do well. Yeah. So people like that, man, I just believe in them. I brought her in.
I had a curiosity that came up while you were talking earlier. It was, you know, I don't know if you mind sharing this, but, you know, for entrepreneurs who are out there, maybe specific to this space, like you were all in, you put down that lease, man, at what point did you come into the black? Like, were you operating at negative for a while or you know, like at what point did you like, man, I actually am making a profit? Was it a month, a year, 2 years?
I think that each gym that I opened at one point was always profitable. But then it goes to the parts of doing different things, and I almost go back to the negative to be even more profitable later on. So for the first gym, like at the Pilates studio, we were never profitable, ever. Like ever. We were just negative. Like spending the little money that we had and making it work. It wasn't until we moved to the second gym, which off of 45 in Patton, to where we were profitable actually the first month, but not by much. It was a couple $1,000s, but we were excited, bro. We were like, hell yeah, we can pay our bills, we can stay in business. Like, this is awesome. I got to work for myself. And then from there, it came to a point to where we were making maybe 5 or 6K profit a month, which was good for me. I could live off about 3 to 4K a month. That was awesome. And then it just grew from there, man. But then the same thing, we moved to the big building, having to buy more equipment, having to hire more trainers, more overhead. Went back negative again. And so we grew it. But it takes marketing skills to be able to get out of that area.
I thought about a flashback Friday.
Did-
Usually we tell a flashback Friday.
Head smokes?
You know, I did think about head smokes. I'll say
That's a
that
good
just
one.
briefly, but that's not the one.
Okay.
Or maybe you can tell it the way you understand that one. That's between me and Joe. But right? It was just me and Joe, or were you in his?
We did it a couple times. We'll
Okay.
tell the story. It's pretty funny.
I'll
It's
let you
short.
tell that story. But in any case, Mike, I don't know if you have a story you want to tell. You know, it could be inspiration, it could be scary, it could be whatever. I don't know, involve somebody famous or something like that. But I always like to do a comedic one.
Okay.
So, if you allow me, I'm going to tell this story.
I'm going to allow you, but there's one thing that
What?
I've asked you to do every episode, and we've been pretty consistent, and I'm going to say rest in peace to Meatloaf. And
No!
I'm going to see
You
if
don't
I...
even know a Meatloaf song.
I
dude.
don't know the one, but I guess you called me out and it was Celine Dion. Can I get you to sing it, Nico? Maybe not now, maybe just jump
I
in a
can
little
do
bit.
that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Let me put on the glasses. I forgot to put my shtick is to have the sunglasses on the whole time, and I totally
So we embarrass him with this song. And
Yeah.
He's actually a good, kind of good singer, but at least we tell him.
Man, all right. So I might need you to pull up the lyrics.
Okay.
I honestly don't remember, but everybody knows the all coming back to me now, right? In any case, let me tell the story, and then you
Okay.
pull up the lyrics while I wait.
Let's do it.
All right. So, some people who know us know we grew up with a guy named Sergio Vargas. Sergio allowed me to come stay with him. Otherwise, I would have been pretty much homeless. He gave me a job working at his Smoothie King, where he was the manager of the Smoothie King for some people that owned it. And he said, "Hey, come on, you can be my assistant manager. I'll pay you $10 an hour, you know, and then you can help pay some of the rent at the apartment, you know." And he was like, "And I'll be your ride to and from work." And I was like, "Oh, well, that sounds like a pretty good deal. Otherwise, man, I'm out here on the streets, you know." So, any case, I go to work for him. We struck up a deal with the 24-hour fitness right next to us. You know, just kind of wheeling and dealing. We're hustlers too, man. So we had talked to their manager, and we were like, "Hey, man, what if we gave y'all like, I don't know, 30, 40 free smoothie tickets each month, right? You bring them in, you give us a ticket, we give you a free smoothie, but at the same time, you give us maybe 5 to 10, you know, like monthly memberships that we just renew every month, you know?" So it was just kind of a way to work out another perk between both companies. And we did that. Everything was going well. And I went to eat lunch one day late because I had to wait till the kids from high school came in to take over for me. And I went to some, like, I don't know, Chinese restaurant down the street, and then came back, you know, just walking. In any case, I walk in, and this girl's like almost in tears, man. A little high school girl, you know, she could have been like 16, 17, something like that. Very cute. She, you know, she's crying. I'm like, "What's going on?" She said, "This asshole next door, he came over here, you know, I asked him for the drink ticket. He totally cussed me out." And I was like, "Oh man, that doesn't sound right." You know, I was like, "Man, she's in high school.
Yeah.
She's a female in high school. Why would this dude come over here and do that?" I said, "Listen, I apologize for that. I don't know what was going on. Sometimes you don't know what's going on in people's lives or that day, right?" I was like, "Let me talk to him." And this was not, it turns out it wasn't the manager that we made the deal with. It was one of his trainers. So the guy comes in to the Smoothie King on a day where I'm there. I said, "Hey, man, look, man, you mind if I just run something by you?" You know, I was like, "Man, the other day, man, that young girl, you know, that was in here, man, she was freaking balling, dude. She said, like, you cussed her out." He was like, "Man, fuck that bitch."
Damn.
I was like, whoa. I was like totally caught off guard. I was like, "Man, what happened?" He was like, "Listen, dude." He's like, "I'll cancel all y'all's memberships." He's like, I want to get a smoothie. I don't need to give you a ticket. I just want to come in here." I was like, "Well, man, we struck up a deal with your manager." He's like, "Dude, I will go cancel all y'all shit right now.
Damn.
This is a trainer?
Yeah. I said, no need to do that, my friend. I was like, dude, just put it behind us. You come in, you're going to get a free smoothie. I don't care, you know? Over the next month, and I made sure that all the high schoolers who came in the afternoon knew what I was doing so that they could do it too. Whenever he came in for a smoothie, we put 2 scoops of Hulk weight gainer in his smoothie. Like 2 months into it, he's in there and just like totally looks upset, man. And we're making this drink. I'm putting the Hulk gainer. I'm like, what's going on, man? He's like, oh, fucking busting my ass over here doing like cardio sessions 2 days a week or two times a day. He was like, I freaking can't. I'm gaining weight. Man, I lose it. I start dying, man. And some of the other high school kids that are there, they're dying too because they know exactly
what was going on.
Everybody knew what was going on except for him, man.
Did he ever find out the truth?
No, that dude would have whooped me down, man. He was big.
Oh, man.
He was real big after the weight gainer. He was jacked up and swole.
That's my flashback Friday, man.
That's hilarious, man. That Smoothie King has a lot of flashback Fridays.
It does, man. What's this one you're talking about with head smokes, man?
Man, so I don't even remember the whole thing about head smokes, but I know we used to go in the gym and just get crunk, you know. And if I remember correct, is that we would get the 45-pound weight and pretend that we were going to hit it on our heads, and we'd be like, "Get ready for the head smokes!" And just kind of like get
I didn't
the
know
gym
you would
crazy.
remember it the way I did.
Yeah. We'd like stand over them, and like the bench wouldn't be there, and we're like, "You ready? You ready? No head smokes."
This is both you guys together?
This is young at the Y.
Yeah,
the
and we would
YMCA.
have like
And then at the Y, like, come on now, man.
Family gym.
and Joe would be there, and I think even Nick.
Yeah.
Right, and anyways, the whole like everybody would stop what they're doing. Like you hear weights being racked and everything, and people would just look over, like, "Yeah, do it, head smokes." Like we're gonna hit you with the 45. Like that was some way to get swole. I don't know.
That's funny. Good stuff.
Mike, does a story come to mind?
Dude, yours was pretty good, man. I don't know if I could top that one, man. But I was thinking about when I was younger, my pops passed away a couple years ago, but he's the one who showed me got my foot into sales. He used to sell meat on the back of a truck.
Okay.
You remember those guys?
Yeah.
They had
like
the cooler
Omaha
and the freezer in the
steaks and
back.
stuff like that.
Yeah, Omaha steaks, USDA approved, baby.
Yeah.
Right. But I used to go with my dad and sell like meat. We used to go to Galveston and whatnot. But aside from that, my dad, he used to get these hemorrhoids, and all the time, dude. I was like probably 10 years old, 11 years old, but I knew what a hemorrhoid was.
Yeah.
And his son. This was Eckerd's back in the. Y'all remember Eckerd's before CVS?
Yeah.
Son, I need to go to Eckerd's right now, and I need you to go in there, and I need you to give me some preparation H. Like, Dad, I don't want to do that, man. Nah, Dad, come on, son, just do what the hell I say, boy. Okay, Dad. I used to go into damn Eckerd's and go to the store. I'd be so embarrassed buying this because I knew what it was for. You know, at a young age, I'm like, here. Here. All right, son, pay for that right there. Hey, you want it back for your preparation H?
You're calling it out like loud.
But it was just one of those things, man. It was just an embarrassing moment for me as a young kid going to the store buying this.
Yeah.
He used to make me didn't feel bad about it at all. Your son, go get that. Dad, I don't want to do it. I don't care what you want to do, boy. Go get my shit.
Do you think that he was sending you because he himself didn't want to go?
No, that's exactly why he was sending me. Yeah, that's the whole
man.
point. Yeah, he was sending me. He didn't want to go in there himself.
Oh my god, man, dude, hemorrhoids. That's the worst, man.
It is.
Well, I mean, not.
Hypothetically speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, hypothetically, obviously, but there could be a couple worse things than hemorrhoids.
Yeah, I know. Everything's relative. So,
But that was some kind of shit, man.
Well, I know we're getting close to the Spotify listeners.
We have about 15 more minutes.
Okay, all right. Because I definitely want to give Mike a chance to just go through every one of the things that he would like to promote.
Yeah.
And give us, like as the kids say, like the I don't know, what's your hashtags or your I don't know, dude. I'm so dude.
Yeah, so Mike, let's just get everything down that you want to talk about. They call it the elevator pitch. You got all your programs. Let's just sum it up. Where can we find your information? How do we get to your gym? How do we start with the app? Tell us all about it so we can know exactly what to do.
Okay, cool. So you can reach out to us a few ways. Most people just go to the website. The website, heroperformance.com. Click on it, give us your information. Somebody will reach out to you in regards to a program you want to do. Next way is Instagram, hero_performance. It's pretty cool. We have a lot of free information on there that you can utilize to really better your experience whether you work with us or you don't.
Yeah.
And then we also have free Facebook groups with a lot of free tips and information that we give clients or non-clients to just better themselves. And you can find us at Hero Performance on Facebook.
Okay.
But what we do here at the gym, we focus on personal training, which is one-on-one training. Small group, which is anything under 3 people is what we consider small group. We do large group, which is anything above 4 people for large group, and we have classes all throughout the day. We also do in-body scans, which not a lot of people offer that. In-body scans is just a very detailed breakdown of your body weight, your body fat, your skeletal muscle mass, visceral fat, water weight, supplementation recommendations, what we think you need or what we know you need for your body to help you get to your goals, and then online coaching. Those are the main things we offer.
I have a question too, because if I'm not mistaken, Mikey, does he get training at home? Is that something that you guys do?
Yeah, man. We also do traveling training.
Okay.
So for Mike, he lives a good distance. He's serious about it. And Mike's been working out with us off and on for years. And one time, Mike had a damn 6-pack about 3 years ago. He got in awesome shape. He was dedicated. He wanted to get back.
Mikey, what the hell, dude?
Yeah, I remember that when you were trying to squeeze into those mediums. Yeah, we remember that clearly.
So now I sent a trainer to his house for him and his wife.
So has that changed during COVID as people don't want to be around in the gym? Has that picked up your outside training at people's houses?
Not necessarily. I think a lot of people prefer to be inside the gym.
Okay.
It's motivating to be there, to see everybody else getting results, to see the same people constantly and seeing their results, right? But
plus you gotta have some kind of setup at your house, right? Like, not everybody has something,
Yeah. Mikey's got a pretty big gym,
he's got a nice setup. Mikey does,
But
for me too,
you can just train with some dumbbells. Honestly, all you need. Honestly, a coach and some dumbbells. And
I think kind of going to the gym is part of the task, like getting up and putting on your shoes, lacing up, and going to that is part of the process. I think.
Yeah. No, I think a lot of people enjoy that process too.
Yeah.
It puts them in a different mental state prior to arriving. Hey, it's gym time. Putting on my shoes, I'm getting in my car, I'm driving there. You walk in the door, you see a gym full of people working out, feeling good. Everybody's like positive typically in the gym because you release endorphins, man. You feel good.
Yeah. Music playing.
Yeah, music playing. It's just a vibe.
How many days a week are you training? You like not training people, but you yourself train.
Oh, I actually don't train anymore. I haven't been training 3 years. Yeah, so
I'm talking about like you do your own personal.
Yeah, myself. Typically 5 to 6 days a week.
Okay.
6 days a week most weeks, unless I have something going on. Like this morning, I was up at 5 a.m. I've already hit the gym. I closed on the house. I had a business meeting, and now I'm here. So it's like
I'm just curious, like for somebody who's enthusiastic as all in as you are in this industry. What does your training look like? Is it an hour a day? Does it consist of cardio? What does it look like?
So typically I do about 40 minutes of strength training, 45 minutes of strength training, and then I'll do 20 to 30 minutes of low intensity cardio.
Explain to me why, because a lot of people will try to put their cardio first. So you work out first and then do your cardio?
Well, I do it in 2 separate settings.
Okay.
And the reason I do that is because with my schedule, basically. So in the mornings, like I put my daughter on the bus this morning. That's always really important to me to make her lunch, get her ready, make sure she has everything, and walk her to the bus stop. And she's 13 years old, but it's something I enjoy doing as a father. But from there, I only have about 45 minutes to work out and strength train before I need to do other things. So I separate them. So strength training in the morning and then cardio in the evenings when I have another 30 or so minutes open. Okay. That's why it's 20 to 30 minutes, just depending if my meetings will go over. But I always fit that cardio in at least 5 days a week.
Wow.
Do you have personal goals that you're still setting for yourself, or are you just kind of maintain mode?
It goes through the process. I do have personal goals, but as long as I'm maintaining, I feel good about it. But I just bought a program. This is crazy, right? I bought a program yesterday, and it goes to show that even coaches need coaches. And I really truly believe in that. Every time I feel like I'm slacking or I'm kind of maintaining, I know I'm going through the motions, I'll pay a shitload of money for a coach because it'll keep me accountable. Just having somebody programming my nutrition, and I'm gonna check in with you. Like, all right, cool. I'll do a good ass job just because it just, So I actually got I have a business partner. I'm like, hey, you want to do this program? He's like, what is it? Explain to him. I was like, all right, I'm in. So we're both starting on Monday to do this new program.
So does that help when you can tell your story to your new clients coming in that this isn't just a gym for me? Like I'm actively doing programs as well. Does that correlate to the success of your business?
I feel it correlates letting the client know that, hey man, this is an ongoing thing. I always explain it like this. Look, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, they all had coaches, they all had trainers. Why? Gets them to their goal a lot faster and it makes them great compared to everybody else. Yeah. So you want to get there fast, you want to get there slow, or do you not want to get there at all? Like pick your pathway, right? So hiring a coach, just with anything, not just personal training, right? But for instance, the AirBNB arbitrage, I dropped a whole bunch of money to learn that for somebody to coach me. The real estate, a whole bunch of money for somebody to coach me. The marketing, a whole bunch of money for somebody to coach me. Because I want to get there faster than everybody else and I want to be better.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the Airbnb thing. I'm curious about that.
I'm only about a week into it, to be honest, but I really like the idea of it. And what it focuses on is leveraging other people's properties in order to make profit. And I'll give you an example. You have a house for rent. You want $2,000 a month. Your house is paid off. The only thing you care is that you get your $2,000 and you're good with it, right? I'm gonna come in and say, I'm gonna rent your house for $2,000, okay? I'm gonna give you your $2,000 every month. I'm never gonna be late. I'm gonna do all the minor stuff, all the maintenance, little bitty stuff that you never have to worry about again. I'm gonna Airbnb your house for $200 a night, about 26 nights or so, making around $5,200. So I'm gonna give you your $2,000. I'm gonna profit my $3,200, pay my dues, probably walk out the door with an extra $2,400 a month.
Nice.
So you do that enough times, right? Maybe 10 houses, depending on the size of the house. It's very profitable. So you can have not necessarily passive, but almost passive income by doing things like that. And they have systems in place to where you have cleaning services, right? You have handyman services. You have different analytics for different websites to pull to see what the good areas are at.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm focusing on. I'm dedicating about an hour a day to it. Yeah. That's my goal, 1 hour a day.
Yeah, that's interesting. I thought you were buying actual properties, but you're actually
it's
just
like
renting.
brokering.
And then,
He's like the middle person.
The broker. That's a really cool concept. I've never
Which
heard
is
of
great
that.
for the owner who probably doesn't want to spend the time trying to do that themselves.
Yeah. And so you ask yourself, well, why doesn't the owner want to do this? They don't want to mess with it.
Yeah.
They just want their $2,000 or whatever it is. That's all they care about, and they're happy.
Yeah, I think a lot of
for
people,
you, I guess you don't have to come out the capital, in order,
right.
Right?
So like when I bought this last house, I dropped $120K cash, and I was like, that's the worst thing I could have did, right? But why did I do that? And I started, the more and more I learned, the more and more I understood, it's like, not all debt is bad debt. There's good debt as well. Yeah. And so now anything I do moving forward, I'll put the smallest amount down that I can, and I'm gonna make the most off it as quick as I can. Yeah. Why? Because I'm not gonna hold on to it. So I was like, cool, there's good debt and there's bad debt. And that's what I try to explain to, many people that say, hey, I want to buy this cash out. There's nothing wrong with it, right? But in my opinion, that's the old school way of doing it. I have a lot of friends that have multiple properties across the city, but they've either inherited these properties and been paying on them forever. And it's like, I don't want to do that. If I can use somebody else's property, make a good amount of money, more than you're making in rent, I'd much rather do that. Yeah. That sounds a better option to me.
Man, I think that's a great idea. I hope you have all the success with that. And I think you will, because I know a lot of people that have second homes that would want to Airbnb. Sometimes they just go there for a weekend, just so they can have the vacation home, and then they can actually pay for it, from that $2,000 that you're getting or whatever the number may be, man. That's really, really cool idea. I like it a lot.
Yeah. So that's right. It looks profitable. I have a personal coach that she's working with me hands-on 1 hour a week, giving me her insight, and she's a 7-figure coach just doing that. So it's good to have that experience, that coach, right? That coach aspect. So like, this is what I did to be successful, but don't do that because there's a shorter way. Do this.
I have a question. So later on, as your goals go on, do you have an aspiration to be a business coach after you start making all these successful moves and continuing doing that? Do you think that's something that's in the cards?
Possibly, not anytime soon.
Yeah.
I don't feel that. I think I can coach people on certain things. That's just not what I want to do yet. But I've looked at a lot of mentors that I've hired, and I think about it. I'm like, they develop these courses, right? You sell this course for 15, 20K, right? But they only have to develop it one time, which is a cool thing. So you develop it one time, you sell it over and over and over, and have these people be successful. So there is a huge profit to be made there. I just don't think that I'm 100% there yet on certain things.
The crazy thing is, though, as you're explaining it just now, I'm thinking to myself, like, that's what you've been doing. Like you've already been building up, your ability to do that through what you've told us with like personal training, sales.
Yeah, I was gonna kick back to that.
It sounds like the same thing, man.
I asked you a question, but I really think that you're humble enough that you don't realize that you are already doing all this, because as a personal trainer, you are your own business kind of. Like you kind of dictate your clients and how much you work, and I really think that you're already a life coach, man. I think it's really cool.
I mean, honestly, let's think about it. I mean, everybody's got something that they're a little bit more expert on than somebody else, right? Like you have an expertise in a certain field that you could definitely be a coach on. Now, you may not see it, like Kevin says, maybe because you're too humble, That's good quality, though. But perhaps down the road, like he's gonna see, man, like all these things that he's been preparing for will help him prepare others.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's believable, man. Just like one thing that I've learned along these years is really to invest in a coach and anything you actually want to do. Every time I've invested in a coach, I did a lot of research before investing, but every time I invest in a coach and I take it serious, I have success. Every single time. I haven't failed once, you know, and I really feel that is like a key thing when you're doing any type of business venture. Hire a coach.
Hire a coach.
Yeah.
Words of wisdom.
Man,
I'm going to say goodbye real quick. So hire a coach. We're going to jump off to Spotify. We're going to continue the interview. So if you are watching, click over to YouTube. If you're on the Spotify, I know we got some more questions I want to ask. I know Nico has a couple more questions. So Spotify guys, take it easy. Follow us on the YouTube to hear the rest of the show.
I was actually thinking we were up against it, so man, you got questions? Go ahead, go for it. But
I don't know if you want to chop up about the world or if you remember.
Well, I mean,
singing that song.
Dude, we appreciate it. Oh, you still want me to do this song? That's what. Yeah, I totally forgot.
I didn't forget.
I totally forgot. Why'd you bring the lyrics up?
Man, I couldn't get it up, man. I tried to turn off all my notifications.
What questions did you have for Mike? And I'll look this thing up.
I just had another one. So there was one on here about HERO. So does HERO stand for something?
Oh, what's that acronym?
Yeah. So actually, my partner came up with it. It was it's helping everyone reach optimal performance.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So we had a few other things in mind. He created that, and I was like, yeah, sounds good. I wasn't actually crazy about it, to be honest with you, from the start. Like, man, I don't know if I like that. It's like too long. Yeah. But it grew on me after a while, and then people seem to like it, man.
That's cool.
And a lot of people still don't even know that it is an acronym.
Yeah.
It's like Hero Gym. All right, cool. You know,
it's a cool one to have, regardless if it has a meaning or not.
Yeah.
But the meaning's good. It kind of sums up what you're all about.
Yeah, exactly, man.
So I think we got Nico ready, man. Nico, you on the
Here,
mic?
I mean, as ready as I'll ever be. I mean, I don't have a great voice.
Ready?
I don't have a great
You need
voice.
some water before you.
Man, you know, I doubt this coffee with creamer has like increased the ability of my vocal cords. It's actually diminished them probably.
Okay, so rest in peace, Meatloaf. We're gonna
So
do a little
again,
shout out.
nobody knows Meatloaf's songs, Bad Out of Hell. Nobody knows that, right? They know the Celine Dion song though, where he was duetting with Celine Dion. I'm just gonna sing the chorus, right?
Let's hear.
And it goes like this. And I'm gonna sing it in my Celine Dion voice, which is not comparable to Celine Dion. If Celine Dion was a 10, I'll be a -10. Okay.
Thanks for preparing us, man.
No, don't get false hopes up. Okay. It goes like this. It says, "But when you touch me like this, and when you hold me like that, I just have to admit that it's all coming back to me. And I hold you like that. It's so hard to believe, but it's all coming back to me. All coming back to me now. There were moments of gold and there were flashes of light. There were things I'd never do again, but then they'd always seem right. There were nights of endless pleasure.
Woo!
It was more than any laws would allow." And then you get that part. Baby, baby, baby.
That's it. That's the hook.
Good, man.
So that was hilarious. And you're right. I don't even know that Meatloaf song. So man, that was good.
Whoa, you know that. You texted it to me this morning.
I don't know if it was just Celine Dion voice, but it did not sound familiar. But I guess it is the same song, man. Thank you, Nico, as always.
I'm sorry, guys. I mean, there's a certain amount of pressure. Like, my face feels red right now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know, like I'm trying to perform in something that I don't do. Like, I'm not a singer.
At least your voice wasn't cracking, bro.
Yeah,
I
so
thought
that's what makes it
I thought it was all
hilarious.
wavering.
It might have wavered a little bit, but that's what makes it funny.
But
But
honestly,
you killed it.
My voice still cracks. I may be still going through puberty.
I have
Probation.
one question, you know, and then we'll do some couple jokes and get on the outro. We're running close to time. So both of you guys are about the same size. Who can bench more?
Oh, I'm sure Mike, man.
Let's throw out some numbers. I know you got something.
Yeah, I mean, so I work out right now with what I'll do is I'll go in and I'll do my sets. I'll do 185 and then I'll put 5 on. And I do that until I get to I do 10 reps and I do that until I get to my set of 225. By the time I get to 225, I'm hard pressed to get it up 10 times, you know? And I was like, man, you know what I should do? I said, next time I should come in here and just straight up go 225 and see, like, you know, can I maintain that for either more reps than 10 or more sets than the way I've been doing it, you know?
All right, Mike, so what you got?
Man, I haven't maxed since we worked out with a high school buddy of ours. And he was the one that got, like, I remember he came back from Texas Lutheran, Joe Joplin, who's been on the show. Yeah. He came back and he was like, we're going to work out with 225. He's put me on his football program. I was like, bro, I can't even bench press 225. He's like, I got you. And so he would like hold the weight. And each time we'd get in there, the next week, he was like, we're going to add 5 pounds. And this would be in his summer program. And I'd be like, dude, I couldn't even do the 225, bro. Each time he would come each week, another 5 pounds, another 5 pounds, another 5 pounds. It got to the point where we got to so much weight, I could actually do the 225 all by myself.
Nice.
And I didn't realize he was building up my strength.
Yeah.
But while we did that, I was able to bench press 315. I took it off the bar. I went down one time, went up another time. I got 2 reps at 315. But dude, I'm scared to go past 225 on myself.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't max out anymore, man. It's been years since.
So everybody says they don't max out, but you still got a number, I think.
I have a roundabout number.
Roundabout it. What is
315 to 335, depending on the day. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
I'm gonna take the lead. I got 365 off the bench years ago.
Years ago.
Man, years ago. This guy can do it right now.
I know.
Man.
I probably can't even do a push-up right now.
It's all right. One time, Kevin, we're in a I don't know. Y'all having a party at the Hotel Zaza? I don't remember what the situation was. And you're like, you're like guaranteeing me that you could do more push-ups than me.
And I did.
No, you didn't. I busted 100. I did 100 push-ups. You just said you couldn't do 100 push-ups. I did 100 push-ups.
I don't know if
in a row.
I don't know if I'm buying this or remembering this correctly. So we might have to challenge that after I get done with my 90-day challenge.
Yeah.
All right.
So do you go heavy still though?
No, man. Honestly, the highest I usually go is about 225.
Yeah.
That's like the highest I go. It's more just doing it
Technique,
more sets and more reps of anything. Yeah, I don't really max out anymore, man. As you start to get older, it's like,
why? Yeah, I heard.
It
was Alex Rodriguez. That's who it was. Alex Rodriguez said he goes, man, when I was at the U, I could bench press 315. He was like, but that's a young man's game.
Yeah,
it's like I'm not trying to do that.
In the gym, I see all these people deadlifting, 4 or 5 plates. I'm like, that's cool, but I'll stick to my 2 plates and I just do a whole bunch of reps, right?
Yeah.
It's all about progression and just maximizing your results. You could do it a few different ways.
Yeah.
Whether, more reps, you do more weight. I just want to tear up my joints, bro. By the time I'm 50, I want to be able to move.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to go past 225, but I think for me, the next goal would be like getting back to like at a point where I can build some stamina and endurance, right? Like, as far as like cardiovascular, man, because I'm out of shape when it comes to cardiovascular.
You guys should do a program then, man.
So I'll show you after the show. I have a program that I wrote up, and it's just diet. So, and I took a picture of it. I taped it on my door. I'll show it to you afterwards, and maybe you can give me some advice on it. I am going to take you up on going to your gym. I'd like to see what it's about, and I'd like to get involved in a program. I know I need to get in shape. And man, I thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been an amazing talk with you. The insight and the knowledge that you have at this young of an age, you're going to do really, really well with everything that you do. And I'm just impressed that you have these people underneath you, and I don't think you realize how much you're affecting them and how much you're letting them grow and providing a life for their family, man. So congratulations on all your success, and really thank you for coming on.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, brother. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So again, everybody, Mike Torres, CEO, entrepreneur, workout aficionado, father. I mean, doing it all. Only 35, man. Like, still got an abundance of years ahead of him, and is successful. And so we appreciate him coming on this the podcast, the show, telling us about kind of how he got started and how things are continuing to go for him. Subscribe if you haven't. We appreciate that. Check us out on Instagram. Mike, I want to let you one time I like to let everybody get like a shameless promotion again, man. If you don't mind, just run them through your stuff.
Yeah,
man.
I definitely don't mind, man.
Yeah.
So Hero Performance, look us up on the website, or you can find us on Instagram, Hero_Performance. Those are the two places most people reach out on. We have free Facebook groups on Facebook, Hero Performance. You can go into our groups, get a lot of free content to help you get started on your journey, and just reach out to us if you need further help.
All right, man. We appreciate it, and we'll have all that information of Mike's gym, Hero Performance, in the description of all that, so you'll be able to find out all the information that he just went over. Nico, take us out the show, man.
Look at this.
You veined up?
Pinky biceps. That's the next area of workout. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate that. Mike, thanks, man.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate you guys.
Oh, man, we appreciate you coming on, man. Yeah, music just runs for like, what, 10 seconds? And we're out.
So, tell me about this program, man.
Yeah, be my weight loss one?
Yeah.